Some of the lights came on. Oh, they're up. This row. Okay, so got here. Oh, okay. Oh, no. Got it. Nice. Time sheet. Am I okay to open Zoom on here?
Yes,
Alex?
make sure you're muted.
Won't screw up these dates or whatever.
I hear you were about to be really busy. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. We're having tomorrow. And I'm-
there's a little path on the flat spot, and then you might have noticed a cut in the hillside.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be for the fence, but
Oh, it's recording you, sorry. Oh, I just
think-
unmuted it, so we're not
Okay.
recording yet.
Oh,
it does look like we've got four. Scott Peters will not be joining tonight. He's out of town. I don't know if maybe one of you, if do you have preference on you turn it? I don't know, Scott, you've done it before, right?
Poorly, yeah,
I think if you wouldn't mind.
but I don't have my glasses, that's the problem.
Oh,
Um, Scott,
I can be as awkward as the next person, I guess.
do you want, I'm sorry, I didn't give you a packet.
Okay.
You didn't let us know. So I think if you're good, are you ready?
I will turn on the recording when you're ready. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah, we're
Okay.
ready. whenever you're
The Mixler is on.
ready. Okay, if you don't mind, just maybe welcoming and
Okay.
we may want to do introductions since we have a new commissioner joining us. Go ahead.
Okay. We'd like to begin the Architectural Review Commission meeting. And to begin with, we'd like to introduce a new commissioner. Maybe he could introduce himself and tell us about him.
Can you hear us online, Zara?
Is that me?
Yes, we've
So I'm
got
the new one.
works in here. So if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Yeah,
that'd
of course. I'm Zara Hassanipur, and I joined the committee a couple months ago. This is the first meeting I've been on. Nice to meet you, everyone. I don't know anyone on this committee. And so if you could also introduce yourself, that would be great. I'm an architect, and that's all.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Scott Chapman. I'm a real estate broker.
I'm Scott Henriksen, an architect.
I'm Sarah Kovac. I'm an architect as well.
So we welcome you.
Thank you.
I don't remember the format.
Well, if you don't mind, I could just go
Okay,
ahead. Sure,
I'll turn the time over to staff now.
no problem.
So I'm going to do
That works. I don't know about all
it.
the
You're gonna feel very
formalities.
polished
either.
after I get through this.
We just have one discussion item on the agenda today. SPL 22-001. Action on a request by St. Clair Signs for approval of a certificate of design compliance for new wall signs, 1952 East Fort Union Boulevard. So let me share my screen. I've got a few quick slides prepared just to outline what was sent in your packet last week. Review that, and then the applicant, it looks like, is joining online. So if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer, or we have the applicant. Okay, there we go. So as I had mentioned, property is 1952 East Fort Union Boulevard, just right west of the Highland and Fort Union intersection. It is a like an urgent care building. First Med has been there for a while, and then the new tenant, Mountain Land Physical Therapy, has recently moved into the building and is requesting approval for a new sign. So here is just kind of a street view from Google, showing, I think, a few of the old signs that might have been there at one point.
Yeah, that was my question. I haven't driven by there recently, or at least not paid attention, so I just wanted to make sure those were the old signs, right?
I believe so. The Care Now urgent care sign is what's there, and I think they might even have a temporary banner for the physical therapy. Yeah. A couple just quick notes about signs. Typically, the way we handle these, we are a little bit limited on what we can do with signs, just legally. Cannot address the content of the sign itself. it's a freedom of speech issue, but things like placement and size, the just general design, regardless of the content, are what we're here to discuss. Typically, the way staff handles signs is that if it's a replacement of an existing sign that's in the same location, we do not require full architectural review. But if it's a new sign where there wasn't one previously, or where one hadn't been previously formally approved, then it requires review and approval. So in this case, that Care Now Urgent Care, the larger sign that's there now, did not come through this commission just because it was replacing a previous business or a previous sign. But we're adding a new one. So this is a new sign. It's a new change to the exterior, which requires a certificate of design compliance. So there are two new signs proposed, one on the front, as you can see here on the top, and I think I've got some basic information about the sign types. The front wall sign is internally illuminated channel letters attached to a backer panel. And then this one on the side facing into the parking lot is non-illuminated, flat aluminum panel with acrylic raised letters. So illuminated on the front, non-illuminated on the side.
Do they have one on the side now?
I don't think so. I also didn't take careful note when I
They
went
just have a
past
black, I
that.
mean, they have a banner, like a temporary one that
But-
looks almost just like this,
Oh,
that's up
okay.
now
I think they
on the
just,
front and the side, but, yeah.
that I think is correct.
Mhm.
Now, one of the, are you? I'm
Please go
just
ahead.
looking at this, the one on the front looks humongous to me compared to
is.
what it was before. That's really a dominant, I mean, is there a square footage maximum or percentage maximum that is allowable under the signage ordinance?
There is, it's 15% total sign coverage as a percentage of the facade. And so we've,
That's their calculation there.
yeah, I think it's, you know,
They've got it
maybe
on
on
this
your
sheet here.
attachment.
The last page.
Second to last one,
Just
so
under there, yeah, they're showing,
the combined signage is 122, 15% is 194,
It is 15%,
just under.
just under.
I don't think there's more than enough size on the side, but I think generally that is the discussion that we want to recommend that the commission has is, as I mentioned, can't really look at the content, but there are a few design guidelines that somewhat apply in this case. In the design guidelines, it says that signs should be in scale with and in proportion to the primary building facade. So the signs do not dominate the appearance. And sign colors, materials, and design should be compatible with the primary building facade. And so we felt like it'd be worth having a little discussion about how the sign fits in with the facade, with what's existing there now. And just in those general terms about colors, materials, design. But you know, with that review and if it gets your approval, staff's recommending that you do approve the application. We've got I think recommendation and model motions
Staff is recommending that we approve what's submitted.
But yeah, we're recommending approval, although, you know, we did call out a few items that just to draw your attention to for discussion purposes.
Yeah, I think that totally dominates that building. I think that's like having a billboard stuck on the side of your building to me. How do you?
Well, we're only talking about the Black Mountain Lands physical.
Oh, we are?
I'm actually okay with the
Oh, the
black
care,
one.
oh, the care now is, we're not talking about that?
That's this thing. right?
Oh, that is existing?
It is.
Oh, wow.
I think the new one
Let's go on the-
actually is better with the actual facade of the building. It just doesn't seem to go with the existing sign that's
Yeah.
very dominant, right?
So care now, urgent care, and they want that on top of it. Wow.
On the east side of the building. My only thoughts are that is there a reason why both signs have to be in the same location? Maybe we can suggest that one goes to the north end of the facade. And balance it a little bit.
Yeah. And maybe in one of those recessed areas, like not so close to the parapet, it seems it's so close to the edge of the building.
Yeah, it does. So maybe in the same location as the care now urgent care, but in the other brick panel that doesn't have the windows in it. They could
Yeah.
maybe reduce the scale of the
Sure,
sign
you're
slightly
looking
to
at-
fit in that.
So the
There's
black
general
panel in
area.
both respects is what they're adding.
Right.
Okay.
And then on the front, I don't see many options except for that extreme east side, but that's a smaller footprint than even on
It is.
the east, so.
Is Mountain Land Physical Therapy, is that another group in the same building?
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, they're the upstairs
Huh,
tenant in the building.
wow.
I do think that we may have a representative from the sign.
Yeah,
company.
should we hear from the applicant and see what they have to say?
Yeah, are they on line?
Do you have the ability to promote? It was Neil, I think. Should be on our participants list.
Can you hear?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. What was your question again?
Well, we're just wondering if you have any comments that you'd like to share with the commission before, or you've heard some of our comments about.
Yes, I've been listening to it and I'm with you. I think the Care Now sign is just a billboard on the side of that building. It's like just way too big because you're not that far off the road. I mean, we're talking about visibility here. The entrance to this complex is to the west of this building, so it's to right of it. And both our proposals to them fit really comfortably where we have, this, particularly the north side, just as it fits comfortably. So on the building. Again, the west side is a non-illuminated sign. It'll be just a flat panel sign that is up in that area. And we have proposed it to be on this end because this is really the only visibility from the road. If you go any further south on that building, it's cut off by trees and the building that's just west of it.
Could it be centered under the care now? I mean, you've got a large truck parked. And there seems to be like I understand the visibility concerns, but if you centered it under the care now sign. So it just seems very randomly placed where it is now.
Well, we're just justifying it to the left with
Sure.
so it's just a justification. I mean, if you wanted to center it, I mean, I don't know that I would want to put it below that just because there's less visibility. If you get a big truck in there or, you wouldn't be able to, it would be harder to see that. So we wouldn't, even moving it to the center of above Care Now in center, but I think for visibility purposes, it fits better just being justified to the left.
Is there just two tenants in that building?
Yes, currently, yes. Unless there's something on the south side, there may be tenants on the south end of that building, but they're on the north. The north entrances is the Care Now and the Mountain Land Physical Therapy on the second floor.
I'm just curious, what percentage does each tenant have, do you know?
I'm not sure about the whole complex, but I know that Mountain Land Physical Therapy has the second level, the second floor of, and that's how you would enter it on the north side. I don't know how much square footage they have at their facility there.
Well, I'm just wondering, does every tenant want to have a big old banner on the building? It looks more like an office building than it does like a retail. I mean, that feels very retail to me. But
Andrew, could you pull up a Google Earth image or a street view?
Yeah.
Let us see it from the street.
Just
Not sure you
actually
can
doing
hear.
that myself. So this is down the road. I tried to
Mhm.
Yeah,
do that to get a sense of maybe if you're driving, you may not be able to see.
so the
fully
Taco
to
Bell is
back.
immediately east of here, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So can we get a view from the east of the east elevation? Might have to go around the corner to the McDonald's parking lot to get that.
wonder if we can.
Oh, they've also got a big sign out on the road, urgent care.
Yeah, there are,
So we see the the challenge with the east
Oh,
end of the
trees,
building.
yeah.
And this is a really old image too, with the
Yeah.
urgent care
yeah,
thing there.
it looks like 2019.
Can you go up Highland Drive and look through the parking lot of
Yeah.
McDonald's? Or maybe let's go,
Who is that urgent care?
it's Care Now.
Yeah, it used to be, I think, First Med, I think is what it was
Mhm.
called, but now it recently changed to.
Okay, so this is the view from the
Okay.
McDonald's parking lot.
And then you can actually see Mountain Land was previously in this
Oh.
building behind,
Oh,
and they're moving up
they're moving to,
to the, yeah, we can kind of see where those trees were. That is from the McDonald's
that's a
drive-through.
building behind this building.
And they're moving to. the-
Is there a reason for the black background versus just the white channel letters on the building like they have today?
Well, there is it partially is a convenience for running electrical. If you see the sign here currently on that building to the south of them. You're just penetrating so much mortar with fasteners to hold that up, where the other one you have, very, very few in comparison. So. And you get a better contrast black on white as opposed to even white to this background color, although the returns and everything, the trims on it are all black. So
So Andrew, can you back up and can we see the building they're gonna be actually in?
I'll go back up towards.
Towards
Fort Union.
Highland, I guess, or right there was good.
Mhm.
I want to be on the east side of the building first, or still southeast corner.
Maybe,
Oh, are all those trees still there?
Mhm.
I believe so.
What side is that?
That's the east side.
That's east.
It's a Taco Bell parking lot.
Okay.
I don't know if we
So I wonder if it's even worth putting a sign there myself.
Is this the side you want?
I don't
That's
think
one of
you'll
the
see
sides
it.
they want to put a sign on.
Yeah, I think
I-
that they were proposing the other side.
The north.
No, it's on the west side is what they're.
Oh, the
proposing.
west side?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, well,
Yeah. I mean-
There's some visibility,
On
but I
this
mean,
side.
I get what
Oh,
he's
right
saying
there,
because
I
that
see.
scuba,
Oh, I
place
see.
does
That's where
block
they
it.
are. We're-
so both those Care Now signs are right there on that corner.
yeah.
Is that urgent care? That awning's not
gone.
there still. is
That
it?
has been removed, and actually, I do think that came through this commission at one point.
Oh. And then they got a sign out here and
There's one on the north.
This
one
photo is
on the west.
accurate, right, in the packet.
I think that's the
I think
most
that's how
recent
the
that we
facade has
have.
been
right?
redone.
And that reflects current condition.
oh, okay.
Without that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I thought the other
Yeah.
one was on the east side of the building, not the west.
Oh. Hmm. Yeah, it is. I've got a monument sign out front. They're not gonna be now, physical therapy is not gonna be out on this sign, right? Or are they?
Yes, they are. They're taking the Rocky Mountain physical therapy space. So those,
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So they're replacing one sign with another.
correct.
Oh.
Any additional thoughts from our new commission member? Sorry.
Well, I mean, I think we have no other option if there is a problem with the visibility. Not the best location, but if everyone agrees with it, I think it's, I mean, we just prove it.
She said do it.
Mhm.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can. Yeah, thank you.
I actually don't have much issue with the new sign. It's honestly more the existing sign,
know.
right? And so
That's huge.
I think theirs
that's
is
true, no.
the color, I mean, it's simple and it ties in
Right,
that center
right,
portion
and
with the
it's
black.
replacing another sign.
So it's not,
It's probably okay when you consider that. It's
Like
just the other
what they're
Billboard-
proposing is
the
actually,
billboard
okay.
that's already on the building.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that's less consistent with what's there.
Okay, we're gonna let you put yours up, but we're tearing the other one down.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
Well, I
I look
agree.
at it in those terms.
I agree with Sarah, though. I like the sign that's individual letters as opposed to on a black background.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I know there's ways to do it because we do it at my job. Like you can put a channel and have that painted to match the facade and they're, you know. So that you only have one penetration for the electrical.
The black does, I mean, the white does really show up on the black, but then it's not, I don't know.
But it does on the brick too, because you
Yeah.
can see the urgent care right below it. And
Yeah.
that, I mean, to me, that pops.
And Care Now is doing the same thing on the brick rather than having a background. Seems like would be more consistent with what they're doing.
Yeah. And just simplify it so it doesn't look, it's already pretty busy and
Yeah,
How would the applicant feel about making that adjustment to their sign format? Having them be block letters as opposed to a background?
Well, all of the letters would be, and what we call this is just an expanded raceway. So everything is mounted that back. If we do something smaller, see Care Now, you can't really see it, but it is on a raceway.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
all the electrical components are in that raceway. And really that's all we've got with ours is just expanded. So you've got more of a black-white image there. Certainly you could take the color of the brick and make that background that same color. Again, it's just we do it as a convenience. We have different styles that we use the background with, but with Mountain Land Physical Therapy, this is one of the two options that they've used on all of their locations. So this is consistent with other locations that they have throughout the valleys.
And what does the other option look like, if I can ask? Is that the block letters?
Well, these are all block. Oh, well, they call it a push through letter. So these are a channel style letter where the LEDs are in each one of those canned, channel letters, like what you see with the Care Now. They have another one, we call it a push through letter. So it's a dimensional sign, but the letters just stick out. So they're not in a channel letter per se.
Right.
And we only use those when we get small, when it becomes very small. So it's harder to make a channel letter when you're doing, a 6-inch letter or an 8-inch letter. It's really hard to fabricate a channel letter that small. So that's when we move to a push through letter.
So are you with the signage company or
Yes.
with land? I see. Okay.
Do you think they would be opposed to not doing the expanded background and doing it more similar to the Care Now?
Well, it would still be on a raceway. It just wouldn't be,
Right.
and they would probably be okay with that.
That way it just, I mean, you will see some black, but it would be more, the white would be more dominant and keep it a little more simplified. You see what we're
Well, as far as simplification, this is simple as, like I said, it ties in, all of their locations have similar signs to this. So with their
No, I get that. I'm just saying, but as far as this specific building elevation, it keeps that more simplified.
yeah, I don't think they would have an issue with that, because that's kind of what they have on the south building, their offices back there.
I think that's what we're saying is we like that other sign better than the one you're proposing.
The only
Okay,
difference,
so-
really, the only difference between the two is that background.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, where is that? Oh, you had that on, you have it on here? No, we saw it as when you were traveling around.
Yeah.
now the west elevation sign, because it's just a flat panel sign, it's not illuminated.
Yeah.
It's just a flat panel. So that have those letters on it. I don't know how we would be able to do that. That would be,
That one doesn't protrude from the face of the building very far, right?
correct. Yes,
And it's not illuminated, it's just a flat panel. like
just a
you're saying.
flat panel sign.
Maybe to your point, Sarah, the background goes to the building color, but then you've got to be very careful to get
Yeah, I
that
don't know.
right, get that right.
Yeah,
Where I've seen it is they're just mounted on a channel
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? So it's not a full background though. So I think if you're gonna do a full background, it needs to be a differing color, but
I think he's talking about full background, aren't you?
Yeah, we could do a colored background that is consistent with the building.
I don't think.
I mean, we can't make it really look like brick, but you know, we could pick a color out of there to help blend in a little bit.
It's the color matching that's going to be the
Yeah,
problem.
I don't think. that
Right.
would-
Well, and you can see in the care now how their background is just follows the contour of the letter, because you can see the middle of the C,
Yeah.
which is black.
Right.
The
Right.
middle of the O is black. So they just kind of follow the contour of the letter rather than putting a,
And I think that's what we're saying.
Yeah, we
Could you
like
do that to, simplify it? So you could still have the black, but just keep it within the confines of the actual letters.
yeah, it would, in fact, our raceways would be smaller. You know, they wouldn't contour the letter like what Care Now has. It would just be and really that is just to hold the electrical for the letters.
So I'm not sure how it would work, where this recommendation. Because it seems like we're talking about one thing and he's talking about another.
Well, this is what I mean, I would like it recommended the way it is, because if you have the north facing sign look different than the west facing sign, you know, if you've got that black, if they look similar, then we know that, you know, you've got, it's, I guess, easier on the eyes, if you will. You know, what it says on the front is what it says on the west. So,
I think we're saying we would want it on both. Not,
Right. If
yeah.
you're gonna do one, then change one, change both, rather than stay with one, stay with both. I think we'd like to see something that's more like the Care Now look, because it feels like, I don't know, it doesn't enhance the building.
well, certainly the west sign could probably just be contoured on the flat panel. So it would just be, you know, it would just be the white letters really on a contoured black.
Well, that's what it's showing, right?
Yeah, what we're cutting out is the left part above the mountain there, across the mountain land area. It all becomes contoured. I would say leave the bottom straight across. It looks pretty close there.
Mhm.
Well, I think that would help a lot of that pretty much that mountain was freestanding, maybe the black over the top of mountain land was. Don't you think that would be an improvement?
And then the sign on the north face could be the same character as the Care Now sign.
Yes, we will have it'll all be mounted on a raceway. In fact, that one, if we wanted to make the raceway, you know, a terracotta color like the brick or something in that color range, then it's not as, it doesn't take away from anything. It just, you know, you just keep it as similar to the building. So it has the appearance of being flush mounted, but it would be in a raceway.
I think you could keep it black. That way it's consistent. The Care Now has the black as the background already.
Right.
And then you don't have to worry about color
Yeah, I
matching
think
and how that fades
Yeah,
over
if you could
time.
show us more a silhouette of that mountain and take some of that black off the top of mountain land and do the same thing on the other side.
So he has done this here now on the
Oh,
north
okay.
side,
I
something there.
Perfect.
just
Yeah.
pulled up, Heather actually found on their website, what looks like a Photoshop of
Yeah.
a
that's what
sign
we're
that
talking
looks
about.
similar to what we're discussing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a big improvement.
I think
that's
that
a big-
was a
yeah.
lot more consistent. Yeah.
Well, so what you need to take into consideration, so the raceway will be through the middle of physical therapy, one through the middle of mountain land and extend behind the mountain
Right.
Right,
portion of it. So, but that would be black. That's what you're asking is to keep that black. Where at this visual here, you can see the building behind.
Right, you're gonna have black behind mountain land and physical therapy
Correct.
and the outline of the mountain.
still gonna be a lot less. than
That's
what's
gonna be
on
a
the
lot less,
proposed.
yeah, it looks a lot more like it. It's the same kind of thing that Care Now is rather than this banner with
Yeah.
white and,
Okay.
yeah.
And then match that on the west side, but not illuminated and it'll be flat.
Correct. Yeah.
But it'll be cut out in this fashion.
Yes.
And you're gonna align all the letters on the right side with care now, right? Like the signs are gonna be aligned
On the west.
on this elevation,
north.
yeah,
On the north,
north.
Well,
Yeah.
and this one is just centered. Well, we tried to center. Well, I think it was centered, wasn't it?
Looks like it's centered over Care Now.
Yeah.
I think what we're saying is we want it justified on the left with the Care Now sign.
Yeah, I think on what is shown in the packet, it's centered, but this
Yeah.
particular image
Right.
is a little bit
Right.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
so the
And then-
north would be centered on the care now, and then the west would be justified
To the,
to the left, right?
To the left, yes.
no,
North, so-
to the left or the north.
yeah,
So the mountain would align with the sea.
with the sea,
on the
yeah,
west side, right?
yeah. Otherwise, they don't get visibility from the street view, it looks like.
I think we're there if we,
Yeah,
And then you're gonna match the black that we already have on the building, right? For the raceways and everything, for the
The
channels,
raceways.
for
will
the
be-
channels.
that's actually
Yeah.
where it runs anodized, I think.
Okay,
all right.
good.
Somebody want to make a recommendation?
How do we explain that?
Do it like we just saw it, that would be good.
I'm not,
I can-
okay, good, yeah,
I
go
can
ahead.
make I'll make a stab at it and we can. Adjust it as we go.
Okay,
So.
it's up on that.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. I move to issue a certificate of design compliance for project SPL 22001. With the following conditions. That the north sign be a cutout sign, standoff letters with illumination on a letters mounted on a rail. So that the brick is visible behind the sign. The letters for the north sign would be justified on the right side of the Care Now sign. And then on the west side of the building, the flat panel sign would be cut out in a similar fashion so that more of the brick is visible. And the mountain logo would be justified on the right or the left-hand side of the Care Now sign. Does that work?
Yeah, the north one is centered though,
No, I think we want it justified on
on
the
the right, did we say right?
the right side of the Care Now sign, so they
That
align.
said,
Yeah, see, here you have it, we have it centered on the building
yeah,
right above Care Now.
Yeah, I think that works. Does that motion
Does
work?
staff put her on that motion?
I've got some notes, I'll go back and
Okay,
You know what
re-listen and work it.
is.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll second it,
all right, we have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Yeah, we have a motion and second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And our Zoom person?
Zara, okay.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, had a motion and second, it's unanimous.
Okay, looks like the motion carries and that is approved. I will follow up with the applicant and we will get a formal approval letter and coordinate on permits.
Just backing up just a moment, should we ask the signage company to provide a graphic that represents what we just asked for? So that we can.
Yeah, we don't need to meet on it, but we would like to see,
By email, we can.
yeah,
Ratify
that's a
them.
good idea.
That would be
I'll
nice.
make a note of that and I'm happy to do that, yeah.
That
We would require that for
So
the
that would
permit,
be a
so.
second
That our,
addition.
our detailed interpretation was interpreted
Right.
correctly, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I can arrange that and make sure that you see that when it's ready. Okay, with that, that was the only action item for tonight, so you just have a approval of minutes to vote on and then that should be it.
Okay, the Architectural Review Commission will move to approve the minutes of July 28th, 2022, after the following process is met. The recorder will prepare the minutes, email them to each member of the commission. The members will have 5 days to review the minutes and provide any changes to the recorder. If after 5 days there are no changes, the minutes will stand approved. If there are changes, the process will be followed until the changes are made and the commission agrees, at which time the minutes will be deemed approved. You have a motion to adjourn?
I think we might need a motion on what you just
Oh,
read, a
okay.
motion to.
Right,
approve the
motion to
minutes.
approve these minutes.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Okay, all those who approve, say aye.
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 It's unanimous. Then we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second it.
All is approved.
Okay,
All right.
we are
Thank you for
adjourned.
your
Thank you.
participation.
Thank you, applicant, for your cooperation in this. I think in the end, we'll end up with a improved solution.
Yeah, I think so too. It took me a minute to realize that we were already having what I didn't want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that here now, that's a bold
Yeah.
side, isn't it?
Okay, thanks to everyone who joined online. We're now adjourned, so I'm gonna close this and
Okay.
we'll see
Oh,
you
we had
next time.
Steve at the end. Hi, Steve.
Nice to meet you, Zara.
Nice
Nice to
meeting
meet
you.
everyone. Thank
Why
you.
don't you-
Right.
Yeah.